Yo, what it do? Today's puzzles were pretty hard, so let's go over them one by one. I got 3 out of 5, which is not bad. Wait, this isn't it. This is yesterday's. Um, wait, here we go. Okay, this is the first one. Let's go into analysis. Turn it off. Okay, what did black do? So black went here. The first thing I noticed for this puzzle was that their king is kind of trapped. We're controlling a lot of squares here with our pieces. So it's just a matter of, I thought, pushing the pawns. I got this one wrong. I think I tried to calculate it in my head and I just thought push here, and they take, um, and then that would be mate. So I'll show you. This is what I thought in my head, and then here would be mate. But in my mind, I didn't see that they had an escape square. I think one of the problems that I have is kind of. I think the puzzle. I think the squares are defended because they are, and then once the piece is gone, I don't think about that in my brain. So this is what I thought. I got it wrong, but that's all right. Um, I feel like the best thing to do is to pause at every single move and think about the puzzle as a brand new puzzle at this point. I feel like that has helped me a lot in the past. I feel like I've been getting kind of lazy. So here, if we think about the puzzle starting here, right? It's obvious that the king is very trapped. Um, what is the threat from black? There is no immediate threat from black. There's no checks. There's this check, I guess, but um, I think more importantly, I mean, it's defended by the rook. More importantly, we're trying to mate, right? So the correct move here is actually just the quiet move to suffocate their king a little more. Now, when we push this pawn is defended, and there's no way for them to defend or attack. So this just ends up being mate next turn if they do some random move, like even take. This would be mate. So this is that puzzle, the very first one. We walk down, it just ends right here. Moving on to the next puzzle. This one, okay. This one I got correct. The initial move that I thought, I mean, the obvious move is just bishop takes, threatening mate. The problem with that move is it invites a lot of checks. So if I take here, let's open analysis. What did they do? Okay. If I take here, there's a check here. I guess you could block. I don't know. Just knight takes, right? You can't block. Maybe block this way. And that just hangs the bishop. So, um, just right off the bat, because of this check, I didn't want to calculate anymore because there was another viable move that I saw, which is rook takes. Rook takes. Once we take with the rook, there weren't any obvious checks that I could see that the queen could give, or any piece, right? That's not just blundering material. There's this check right here, queen d3. There's rook h8. Those just hang pieces. So now the only place for the queen to check is here. That's covered by the bishop. So at this point, I thought that was a more viable move. If they moved their queen for some reason, we could take with check, and now this is like a forcing line. That's just mate. So I just went with that instead. I believe they checked here. and they just gave it up like this. And this is obviously winning. You can check. You can check. I guess, yeah, I don't know. So, oh, they just gave their rook away. Okay, so that was it. This one was one that I didn't get as well. Let me explain to you what I was thinking. So the obvious move is knight check, right? Knight check here, and then the king has to come here. I thought a long time about this move, but it seemed like a pretty good first candidate move because this actually protects this possible check here and also this check by the queen. Before the knight, yeah, the knight's coming in and the knight's actually blocking this check, but now once it moves, it's not blocking anymore, but it's still defending the same checks. So here is where I kind of went astray a little bit. I was trying to think of candidate moves, right? There's a lot of possibilities. I was thinking rook here and coming in. For instance, like rook here and come in here. Why I didn't really think this was it was like, okay, even if I sack the rook, right? And I come in, I didn't see anything that was like spectacular. I thought there was some counterplay here. Uh, I'm not seeing it off the bat, but in my mind, I saw some counterplay. Um, Also, at this point, before I played that check, I was counting the material, right? We have 6 pieces with with 2 rooks. And then they also have 6 pieces with 2 rooks. So the material is pretty even, and their rook is hanging. So I just thought like, okay, I don't see an immediate threat from their side. If I just take the rook like this, I don't see a threat, and I'm just threatening this pawn push, and that would open up an attack. I think it was just the safest way to go. So, but that wasn't it. So the line was actually to go here. Um, what was it? It's a sack. Oh yeah, yeah. I only saw at this point. I only saw queen takes, and that's kind of the end of the attack. It didn't really look conclusive. So the move here actually I didn't see was knight takes, which leads to an eventual mate. Um, I think I kind of saw this too. I might have saw it, and I saw this, and I didn't see what the continuation was. I think continuation is actually here. Was it here? Let's see. Oh, knight f7, and then the queen comes in. Okay. Yeah, and now this is just a back rank because there are no squares for the king. Yeah, I did not see that. I only saw like here, here, and then like maybe come in, and then it's not very obvious what the play is. So that was the move. Another variation is here, here, and here. I think this is what the engine says, right? Yeah. And then they start giving away pieces. If you do something else, it's the same kind of like back rank mate. Because this king takes away this square, that's crucial. And this one as well with the knight. So going back to this puzzle, yeah, it just ends here. Yeah, it's a lot to see coming from here. Um, I'm trying to balance out when to calculate and when to stop calculating and when to just play the move, because I wanted to calculate the whole line before I play anything, but I feel like I can only calculate like 3 moves down. Like I saw king here to this square after knight comes here and rook comes here. You can sack the rook and then king takes, and then I only saw queen takes here. I did not see like knight takes. I guess I have to envision like the knight already being here and then possible jump. Like it's a little bit, it's pretty difficult knowing that like the knight's visually right here. You know what I mean? Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's also open analysis. Okay, whoops. Let's turn this off. So this one was this one I got. The rest of them I got. So the obvious move to me is like when pieces are aligned like this in this V shape. I always think about like a pawn thrusting and forking the two. It has to be protected, obviously. So in this case, when I thrust here, like it's protected by the knight. Now this doesn't work because why doesn't this work? I mean, even if you take like this, right? You're just down a pawn here and your king side's destroyed. Another way would be something like, what would be another way? I guess that's the main way, or even here, right? This take, we take theirs, and then they probably just trade off here, and this feels, oh wait. This feels okay. Probably not that great, but like your king side shattered. It's still playable, I feel like. So the obvious move that the obvious thing that I saw was like, okay, once they move their knight here, it's no longer defended, and my queen is X-raying. So, okay, how do I move this knight to attack something and make it so that they can't move this knight or defend it, and I can capture it? Most obvious move is here. Once I go there and my knight comes here, now my queen is attacking that. So yeah, I just take here. If they take here, right, with their king or queen, queen is there's an obvious move, like they could check. Oh, it does not check. There's no checks. And then they have to move their queen away, and then you take their knight. King is even easier, right, because it's a check. And then so in the puzzle, they did not do that. They did something a little bit more complicated, I feel like. I think they took here. And then we take, and then they can take, and then we take back. How many pieces do we have? We have 2, 4, 5, and they have 2, 4. It's because we took a piece here, and then now we're even in pieces, and then we trade pieces again, like this, and then now we take a free piece. So that took me a while to, that kind of style of puzzle always took me a while to learn and think about coherently, because it's like, okay, I'm taking one and then we're trading 1 for 1 and another 1 for 1, and then now we're even, and then I take a piece, and they don't have any pieces to take back for free, so that's why it ends up being a free piece. So kind of plays out here in this. Oh, they just give it up. Yeah, plays out here. We basically trade. They did a desperado, so we get a free a knight for a pawn. This is the last puzzle. Let's analyze. What do they play? Okay. So puzzles like this, I think I played these enough times to notice a certain pattern, which is there's always something to do with like the back rank and this knight, I mean this this rook that's hanging. So um, imagine if like I play a random move and then they do something like this, right? There's always like a back rank issue. Um, so you can do something that's pretty sexy, which is sacrifice the queen. Um, it's not really a sacrifice, obviously. If they take, it's a back rank because their queen can come in, their rook can come in, but it just leads to mate because they're not protecting the same squares. They're not guarding each other. Also, this move threatens mate, so it's like a 2-for-1. You're threatening the rook, you're threatening mate. They can't just like come in and protect the rook because they also have to protect the square. Um, Here they played what was this rook g1, and here this is where I thought for a little bit because I didn't really know how to follow up. Because I was thinking like, okay, if I go here, it doesn't really make sense. There's nothing like attacking, and I can't move this rook because I get mated. So it has to be something to do with one of these pieces, right? I can't really take because they just take, if I take, they just take back and there's no mate. So it's not that primitive. Also, there's no more, it's not like a trick like this, right? Where we move the rook away, like distraction, like it is here. It's, that motif is gone. We've already used it. It's not applicable here. So I realized that, what did I realize? I want another way to attack this rook and force them to take something in the back rank so I can continue to back rank mate them. Ideally, the queen has to protect that square, right? So if my rook was here, that'd be great. Because then they would just hang checkmate or hang their rook. Or if my rook was here, that would also work because my queen defends both of these squares. So actually the solution is to get my rook to one of these squares so that like I get to take their rook for free. I'll show you a sample line. Let's imagine they do this, right? Now, this rook is a goner. Like the only way to defend mate, actually that's still mate. If they go here, it's mate. Even if they go here, obviously mate. So that's the end goal. In order to get there, let's do something with tempo, right? Like I want to attack something of theirs. Obviously, I'm going to attack the queen. And now they have to move their queen or sacrifice their queen to get the same motif for us to win. So yeah, they sack their queen, and then that's the end of the puzzle. So pretty interesting puzzle altogether because I feel like this back rank back end this back rank motif is pretty common, and it's just a matter of finding the right tempo moves in order to get your pieces to the right position to deliver mate. Okay, cool. That's it. I'll see you next time.